is the another judge with me?
Sir, it's Soumya Srivastava, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Ma'am, you are on mute. Kindly unmute yourself.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Lakshana Pratap Singh. I will be the acting court master in this court. With the prior permission of the honorable judges, I may start the proceedings by the introduction of the judges. Good morning, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Ma'am, with the permission of the with the prior permission of the judges, I may start with the introduction, and then team 541 will start for the prosecution.
Okay.
All the team members kindly always open your camera, and I request all the team members and the judges to kindly open their chat box every time so that I can contact with them through messages. Team 562, open your camera. All the team members kindly open your camera. Good morning, everyone. Today on the bench, we have Ms. Soumya Srivastava ma'am. Soumya Srivastava ma'am have been practicing in the High Court of Allahabad from past 8 years and handling matters related to constitutional law, civil law, and criminal law. Ma'am have been empaneled with UP Higher Judiciary Services Commission, UP State Legal Services Authority, Union Bank of India, MJP Rolkhand University, Rani Lakshmibai Agricultural University, Airport Authority of India, Nagar Nigam Varanasi, High Court Legal Services Committee, UP Awas Evam Vikas Parishad, and hold the post of Secretary at Adhivakta Parishad High Court Unit, Allahabad. Ma'am have also been appointed amicus curiae in number of jail appeals, criminal appeals by the court. Welcome, ma'am. And the other judges on the bench is Mr. Pradeep Tiwari, sir. Pradeep Tiwari, sir, is practicing as an advocate from past 5 years in criminal side. Sir, being managing partner of Agrah Law Firm and Agrah Law Academy, handle all types of criminal cases with success and also handle many highlighted cases. Welcome, sir. Request Team 541 to start their arguments with the permission of with the prior permission of our honorable judges by telling the time division.
Yes, you may proceed.
Greetings, Your Lordship. Uh, I, Co-Counsel 1, will be dealing with the issue number 1 and 2 with time of 15 minutes, and my co-counsel will deal with issue number 3 and 4 and with prayer within 15 minutes.
Fine.
If you, the council seeks permission to proceed with the facts,
Yes, you may proceed.
Your Lordship. According to the facts, the secret tip was given by Gurdeep Singh to PA Special Officer in Delhi on 25th of February 2015, stating that from Faraka Express train number 13413 on platform number 5, there will be two suspects traveling with two bags with high quality fake currencies of 2000 denominations, carrying 5 lakhs in each bag, in total 10 lakhs. According to the team, police did the seizures and they found that the accused Samir and Mono were actually carrying the bags to Pulwama and give it to Pulwama so that they can give it to the Peter. The FINCs then were checked thorough by NIA or NIA in future, and the CDR records were also found that in CDR records also found that they were highly qualified fake currency. Another seizure afterwards in the seizures it was also found that they were Samir and Monu were also carrying two phones, two SIM cards, and identity cards with a small amount of cash and with two general tickets. Afterwards, on 34 2015, that is 30th April, uh, the Ministry of Home Affairs actually issued an order directing NIA, and afterwards these two associations, namely Kalu Mama and Peters, were received in concern. Um, yeah, afterwards, Samir and Mono confessed in the custody, stating that this consignment was given by Kalu Mama, and he stated them to carry those bags to Pulwama. And according to this, they did it. They were going to do it. With each and every deal, they used to get 10% commission on each and every deal. Also, when Kalu Mama, also after and I on
Actually, we
when
are not getting. Please present your facts properly.
Yes, Your Lordship. When the investigation was when the investigation was given to NIA, in that investigation the NIA started again with a investigation with Samir and Mono, and afterwards they were found told the police officers that this this consignment was given by the Kalu Mama, and told him to proceed to Pulwama with those bags so that they can proceed with a future plan of bomb blasting. Afterwards, then they found the Peter's accused Peter's house and did the seizures in the premises and the house, but they found no evidence. But they also got to know on 27th May 2015, and I did the investigation on the premises of Peter, and in that they got to know that Peter ran away. Also on Afterwards, they also got to know that he was admitted in the SK hospital of Rajasthan due to poisoning, and due to poisoning, his treatment was going on. On 22nd June of 2015, he died. The further investigation then proceed with Kalu Mama's house and premises, and then the three mobile phones, one micro SD card, one bill receipt, and one empty box belonging to Kalu Mama was taken as an evidence. Afterwards, the CTR reports were also collected, and in that it was clearly shown that Kalu Mama was in touch with Samir, Monu, and Peter, and with Sohail also all the time. Same, according to the CDR reports, Samir, Monu, and Kalu Mama Peter was also in continuously touch with each other. The detailed report was from Oppo phone was collected of Kalu Mama's. Afterwards, on 23rd June, Kalu Mama was successfully arrested. Um, he also revealed that he was also known with the facts that there was that Sohail and Peter was planning on doing bomb blast with the code of Dulhan ko sajane ka waqt aa gaya hai on 15th August 2015. Also, a blatant statement was made by Kalu Mama in a public gathering in which Iqbal Khan witnessed it, stating that India is not being a country. Also, Dulhan ko sajana padega. And according to these statements, Section 16, 17, 18, and 20 of Unlawful Preventions Activities Act and 489 ABC 120B of IPC. These sections were, and Section 201 of IPC, these sections were uh, under these sections they were found guilty. If the bench is satisfied with the facts, may I proceed with issue number 1?
Yes, please.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Issue number 1, whether Samir and Monu can be charged under Section 120B, 489B, and C of IPC. The prosecution will submit to the court that Samir and Monu are liable under Section 120B, 489B, and 489C of IPC. As Section 120A states that criminal conspiracy is to be done in between the two persons and shall be the natural person. Any any illegal act or any legal act done in an illegal way shall be liable under Section 120A. 120B states about the punishment of criminal conspiracy. Section 489B states about using genuine or forged or counterfeit currency notes or bank notes. Section 489C states about possession of forged or counterfeit currency notes of bank notes. Further, the prosecution submits to the court about Section 27 of Evidences Act when the fact is disposed as to be discovered in the consequences of information received from a person accused of any offences in a custody of a police officer so much as of information, whether it amounts to confession or not, relates distinctly to the facts thereby discovered to be proved. Under Section 161 2 of CRPC, it also states that such person is bound to answer truly all questions related to such cases so that he can expose a tendency to the criminal charges or the penalty forfeiture. According to Section 120B, the accused shall be liable for for, for 6 months of imprisonment, fine, or both. Here, as you can see that accused A1 and A2 who were carrying fake highly qualified FINCs to Pulwama as per the assignment given by the Kalu Mama, and they were fully aware of what they are doing, as they were getting 10% commission on each of the deal, which is already stated in paragraph 1716. Also, they were also known with the fact that there will be a bomb blast with the code of in दुल्हन को सजाने का वक्त आ गया दुल्हन को सजाने का वक्त आ गया है. In which, and also when the CDR reports were found, their call details were also collected as an evidence, in which they were constantly in touch with Kalu Mama, and they were known with the whole plan all the time. I will refer to the the prosecution refers to the case of Zubeda Chitrakar versus State of West Bengal, in which the police officer found the possession of the highly qualified FINCs in possession, and they were then traveled to other stations, and thus they are liable for Section 489B and C of IPC. Here accused Samir and Monu were also carrying those bags to Pulwama, thus they are also liable under Section 489B and C. Mohit Inayatullah versus State of Maharashtra. In this the court says that there shall be a legal evidence. So there should be a legal evidence for there should be legal evidence so that there should be legal evidence which can prove that they are liable under those sections. As here we can see that there are CDR reports. Also, the seizures were done immediately on the stations, and they were found with those bags. And afterwards, they also in the custody, they also told the whole plan to the police about the bomb blast, about the fake currencies they were carrying, and they were also getting 10% commission on each of those. So all this evidence leads to that accused A1, A2, that is Samir and Monu, are liable under Section 120B, 489B, and C of IPC. If the bench is satisfied with issue number 1, shall I proceed with issue number 2?
Yes.
Can you explain me one thing?
Yes, ladyship. Yes,
That these statements were given before a police officer under 161.
yeah.
Is it an admissible evidence for court? You're saying 161 is admissible.
Yes, your ladyship. According to Section 161(2), it clearly says that such a person is bound to answer truly all questions relating to such cases to the to the police officer who is the investigator of the case. Other than questions, he should answer those questions with the tendency so that the criminal charges or the penalty or the forfeitures can be exposed.
I'm only asking you whether it is admissible or not before the court of law.
The ladyship, it is admissible before the court of law as they were exposing to the facts of the further cases.
Alright, you should proceed.
One more question from my side.
Yes, your lordship.
Do you think your case is a further investigation case or it's a re-investigation case?
Yes, your lordship, is a re-investigation
As
case.
your matter was referred for the further investigation only.
Yes, your lordship.
Can you explain me the section of further investigation?
I plead my ignorance, your lordship.
Under which section your matter was referred for the further investigation to NIA?
I plead.
How can you ensure your case is a matter of further investigation? It seems to re-investigation.
Yes, your lordship. The case was actually re-investigated as the.
Are you admitting it?
Yes, your lordship. The
Then your
purpose.
case is not a further investigation case.
Yes, your lordship. As the case was firstly investigated by the PS police officer.
I am saying very specific question. We know that further investigation only can be done when it was already investigated by previous agency. I am saying your case is a further investigation case, or in the garb of further investigation, you have re-investigated the case.
Your lordship, the further investigation was done as half case was given to the NIA, and the other investigations was done, and the seizures was done by the NIA.
Then what new facts you have bring out?
So, yes, your lordship, when the further investigation was done, NIA searched seizures was done at the Peter's house, accused Peter's house, and then Sohail's house, and then afterwards they were found that they were constantly in connection with those. Also, Kalu Mama did visit.
Don't you feel the same thing has already been done by the previous agency?
Your Lordship, it wasn't. It
Why it
wasn't.
was referred to NIA? Tell me. Say, or you want to carry on with your second issue?
I plead my ignorance, Your Lordship.
You can carry on.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Issue number 2: whether the accused Sameer, Monu, and Kalu Mama shall be guilty under Section 201 of IPC. The prosecution humbly submits before the Honorable Court that yes, accused Sameer, Monu, and Kalu Mama are guilty under Section 201 of IPC, as it states, causing disappearance of evidences of offences or given false information of slain offender. Whoever knowing or having a reason to believe of that an offence has been committed causes any evidence of the commission of the offences shall disappear. Here, the punishment here Samir, Monu, and Kalu Mama are punishable under Section 201 as they are liable under this section, and the punishment shall be with the imprisonment with the discrimination of a term which may extend to 7 years, or shall be liable with a fine or punishment with the imprisonment of life. Section 27 of Evidences Act, when the fact is disposed as to be discovered, or the consequences of information received from a person accused in any
Miss
offences.
Counsel, please be aware we are going to ask a specific question on your submissions. Substantiate your sections properly as
Yes,
per your facts.
yes, Your Lord.
This is not going to be a very easy deal for you.
Yes, Your Lordship. According to Section 27, the Evidence Act, the facts were disposed and in the discovered of the consequences of information received from the persons accused of any offence in the custody of a police officer. Such information, whether it amounts to confession or not, it relates distinctly to the facts thereby discovered, and may proceed. In this criminal jurisprudence, the accused Samir and Monu and Kalu Mama are guilty as they conspired to commit the crime under Section 201 of the Indian Penal Code, which is the disappearance of evidence or intentions to protect of an offender by a legal punishment. Here, Samir and Monu were on 25th February 2015. They were uh, they were uh, they were arrested by the police as they were traveling with the high quality fake currency notes. They were traveling with high quality fake currencies notes to Pulwama, and then gave it to Peter so that they can proceed with the plan. Another when on 20th June 2015, further their witness named Shah Rukh Khan stated to NIA that with Sohail and there was Kalu Mama on 26th June 2015 that he visited to the house of Sohail, and uh, they were also known. Another fact states that Kalu Mama and Sohail were known. The council seeks permission for extra time.
Please carry on.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Also, in further facts, it was clearly stated that Kalu Mama and Sohail were known to each other from last 6 years, and they were constantly in the meeting, and they were constantly connected to each other. After they were also seen in public gathering in which Iqbal Khan was also there with, and he witnessed about the blatant statement stating that Dulhan ko sajana padega, as India is not being a good country. Also, as they were known to each other, it shows that for 6 years, it clearly shows that Kalu Mama was having and clear intentions to do so, to clear and clean all the evidences from uh, accused Sohail's house and all the premises. As when the investigation was done by the MI, no evidences was from found accused Sohail's house. The council will like to prefer to the case Dinesh Kumar Kalidas versus State of Gujarat, in which the court also held that all the offences shall be proved by the prosecution, and here the proof is that that Kalu Mama was known with Sohail for last 6 years, and they were in constantly connection with the whole plan. They were also connected to each other through phone calls, as a CDR report was collected. Other than that, on 26th June, Kalu Mama also visited Sohail's house, and afterwards the investigation was done, and then the no evidences were found. Reference case Hanuman and others versus State of Rajasthan, in which also the court stated that clear evidences should be given, and here the clear evidences are that did Kalu Mama visited, and he did have an intention to clear all the evidences here.
Fine. This is your case. Have you done?
Yes, your lordship.
Somya, if you want to ask the questions, you can go for first, then later on I'll. Her voice is not audible.
Ma'am, you are on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
please.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I only want to know that when there were no corroborative evidences found from the house of the suspect, that is Sohail, then how can you prove charges against him? Only based on the statements that were given before the police officials.
Your ladyship, that on 26th June, Kalu Mama did visited Sohail's house, and afterwards the police in NI investigation was done, and there was a witness named Shahrukh Khan who also told to the police officer that he also saw Kalu Mama visiting Sohail's house, and he was having an intention to do so, as he was known with the plan, and he was helping out to Sohail and for bomb blasting on 15th August, and they were also known to each other from last 6 years. And also when the public gathering was done, Kalu Mama did stated the statement that दुल्हन को सजाना पड़ेगा.
By these statements and without finding any evidence, can you just charge a person that because he knew those people? There are a lot of people who are connected to each other, but how can you prove his intention that he was going to do a bomb blast?
Yes, your lord. Yes, your ladyship. As they were constantly connected with the phone, and Kalu Mama's in further statement, he also stated that he was known with the fact that there will be bomb blasting, and then he was also told that the fake currencies should be given to Peter so that they can proceed with those plans.
But there are no such evidences against Sohail, right?
Sohail was in contact with with accused Kalu Mama, Samir and Mono with the whole time, and he was also involved with he was also in contact with Pakistan and Bangladesh, and he was with the Lashkar-e-Taiba in Pakistan. He was in contact with them.
So these things were established by CDRs.
Yes, your lordship. Yes, your ladyship. This all the connections were found when the CDR report came, all the call details were found. And Kalu Mama did also say that Kalu Mama and Samir also did say that in their statements that Sohail is in constantly contact in Bangladesh and Pakistan and with the Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Miss Council,
Yes, Your Lordship.
as another panelist has asked you a question previously, under Section 161 statement is admissible or not?
Under Section 161(2), the
Don't
statement
go
is
with two, you will be in problem. I am saying under Section 161 is admissible or not?
yes, Your Lordship. They are admissible under
Can
Section.
you put your case on the basis of 161 statement?
Uh, Your
Don't you feel
Lordship.
you are flying, your case is flying in the air with the
Your
support of one balloon only?
Your Lordship, there were also there were many evidences were found as there were call records and the seizures done
That
by
is
the
the only
police.
CDR.
Yes, Your Lordship, but there were seizures done, also were done in which the
What?
evidences were found. The seizures were done by the NIA and the evidences were also found by them as the evidences.
And what was the case previously when the another agency had investigated this matter? What was that theory? Only then we can connect it with the further investigation theory. Na? What was the actual case?
Yes, Your Lordship. The actual case was firstly were investigated by police officers was that the accused Samir and Monu were fined with the highly qualified fake currencies, and they were taken into the custody.
So let
After
it be very clear, Miss Council,
yes, Your Lordship.
for what purpose this matter was given to you for further investigation? Number one question. Answer it first. Question number second. What new facts you have bring out from the your investigation part, which is completely different from the prior agency?
Your Lordship, the
A part
premises.
of CDR.
Pardon, Your Lordship.
A part of CDR.
Your Lordship, further investigations was done at the house and the premises of Peter and Sohail, and in that there were witnesses who witnessed that they were that they did visited and they were in.
Have we recorded their videography statement of the accused persons?
No, Your Lordship.
Fine. No further question.
You may proceed now.
Speaker 2 may start.
The council may seeks permission to.
Your voice is not audible, Mr. Counsel.
Your Lordship seeks permission to proceed with the issue number 3 and 4.
Please, please, please.
Please proceed.
Issue number 3. Issue number 3 is whether the accused A1, A2, and A3 can be charged for committing Unlawful Activities Prevention Act.
We have already gone through your hard copies where you have submitted your submissions. Please be precise.
Yes, Your Lordship. It is contended that accused A1, A1 and A2, A3 is guilty of charge under section 16, 17, 18, 20 of the Unlawful Prevention Act. Section section 16 Punishment for Terrorist Act tells that in such act as resulted in the death of any person or be punishable with death or imprisonment for life Subclause B, in any other case, be punishable with imprisonment for terms which shall be less than 5 years, but which may extend to imprisonment for life. It states that accused A1 and A2 both have caught all the items recovered were seized in presence of independent witness. In this examination, Special Cell Delhi Police accused A1 disclosed several names of the associates in this organized supply and purchase of FICN, namely Peter and accused 3 Kalu Mama. He stated that he used to receive 10% commission on each deal. He disclosed that
They will speak. They will speak. The accused will always speak as per your opinion, as per your direction, Mr. Counsel.
yes, Your Lordship.
We know the IO's role.
The accused state that used to receive 10% commission on each deal. The accuser disclosed that Samir and Monu used to receive consignment of FICN from Kaliachak, Malda and travel in general coach of train as it was comparatively safe. According to this, accused A1 and A2, they both knows everything about Kalu Mama as they were as has stated in the Exhibit 7 in the statement of defense witness 1, where Iqbal Khan introduced the uh, Kalu Mama because
What happened?
uh, Your Lordship.
What happened? Are you fine, Mr. Counsel?
Yes, Your Lordship. It is humbly states that on custodial examination by Special Cell Delhi Police, accused 2 disclosed about the role of accused 3 of Kalia Chak and accused 4 at Borar, Madhya Pradesh. And in defense witness 3 Kalu Mama statement, he stated that Kalu Mama stated that we uh, we receive funds from across the country from Pakistan and Bangladesh for our upliftment and sanitization program. As Sohel told that after the successful completion of the sanitization drive by us on Malda village, his team has declared to be an unlawful assembly and a fire was lodged against them. As therefore, the prosecution submits that it would be justified in convicting the accused if it is shown by the evidence on record that he had participated in the te- terrorist act. The prosecution witness number 4, The accused A1 and A2 were examined in police custody of NIA. After obtaining police custody, the Honorable Court, from this Honorable Court, the accused A1 admitted his involvement in the case and disclosed the involvement of the other person, A3 and A4. He was also informed that A3 used to take instructions from A5. The accused Sohail A5, who was planning to carry the bomb blast in Pulwama in Indian Army convoy by 15th August. He further informed that A5 was also in touch with Lashkar-e-Taiba senior people from Pakistan. The accused A2 admitted the involvement in the case and disclosed the involvement for other accused persons, namely A3, A4, and A5. He further informed the Sohail A5 had received instructions from Pakistan and Bangladesh with the bomb blast. दुल्हन को सजाने का वक्त आ गया है. As soon as FICN currency reaches Pulwama to A5, the call details record also refer to CDRs of the SIM cards used by accused persons were obtained during the interrogation, containing contact list of phones recovered from the accused were obtained from expert opinion and CERT in New Delhi. Therefore, proved the prosecution submits that the special court would be justified the convicting the accused A1, A2, and A3. It is shows by the prosecution witness number 4 on record that they had in the terrorist act. The analysis of the CDR and phone data of the phone seized from accused A1 and Monu A2 clearly established their movements from Madhya Pradesh to West Bengal and frequent telephonic conversation between Samir A1, A2, Samir A1 and A3 Kalumama, and telephonic contact between Peter and Kalumama on 23rd February 2015. According to Section 18 UAPA, punishment for conspiracy: whoever comprises to attempt to commit or advocate, abets, advise, or includes directly or knowingly facilitates the commission of a terrorist act or any act uh, prepare, uh, preparatory to the commission of the terrorist act shall be punishable with imprisonment in terms which shall be 5 years but which may extend to imprisonment for life. As per the reports of CFSL New Delhi, it opined that all the notes received via report number 123 slash 2015, 563 slash 2015, and 1204 slash 2015 are highly quality FICN notes, but the CFSL New Delhi did not provided any other explanation about their conclusion. The investigation has clearly established the both A1 and A2 in conspiracy with Kalumama. A4 and A5 were closely associated as a gang, which may activity involved in a criminal conspiracy for purchase, procurement, transportation, and financing of extremely high quality fake currency notes, value of 10 lakhs, the distribution across the country, and therefore that such action clearly tantamount to a terrorist conspiracy with a gang causing damage to monetary stability of India. Council may seeks permission to proceed with the issue number 4.
Please proceed. Please conclude it fast.
Whether the accused A1, A2, and A3 are guilty of waging war against state or not. The accused A1, A2, A3 is guilty of waging war against state under section 121 and 123 of IPC. As 121 of IPC states that whoever by any act or by illegal omission conceals the existence of a design of wage war against the government of India, intending through such concealment of facilitate, knowing to be likely that such concealment will facilitate the waging of such war shall be punished with imprisonment or either description for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable for fine. According to the analysis of the CDR, phone data and phone seized from the accused 1, Samir and Monu accused 2 clearly established their movement from Madhya Pradesh to West Bengal. The frequent telephonic conversation between Samir and Kalu Mama and telephonic contact between Peter and Kalu Mama on 23rd February 2015. The accused too admits his involvement in the case and disclosed the involvement of the other accused persons, namely accused 3 Kalumama, accused 4 Peter, and accused 5 Sohail. He further informed that accused 3 had received instructions from Pakistan and Bangladesh with the blast code दुल्हन को सजाने का वक्त आ गया है. Blast as soon as FICN reaches Pulwama. To accused 5 Sohail further states that accused 2 admitted that they have a perfect planning and code word and mentioned as soon as the FICN currency reaches Pulwama to Sohail A5. It clearly mentions that they are concealing with intent to facilitate design to wage war. Your Lordship.
Yes, have you concluded
Your
it?
Lordship. Yes, your Ladyship. Your Ladyship, the Council seeks permission to ask questions.
Mr. Tiwari, are you going to ask any question?
No, I'm not.
And then you may proceed.
The Council seeks permission to proceed with the prayer.
Proceed.
Please proceed.
Prayer in the view of what it is said out above. It is humbly submitted that in the Honorable Court kindly 1. Accused A1, A2, A3 is liable under section 120B and shall be punished with a fine rupees 5,000. 2. Accused A1, A2, A3 is liable under section 489B, C, 121, 123, 201 of IPC under section 16, 17, 18 and 20 of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 as amended shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment or pass any order it may deems fit in the interest of justice, equity and good conscience. Your Lordship, Your Ladyship, Council may seeks permission to ask any questions.
So this was your case. You have concluded.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Now it's time for defense counsel. If Ms. Soumya has, if Soumya is asking,
No,
are
no,
you
no
asking?
such questions.
Okay, fine. Then it's a defense side.
Defense may proceed now.
Team 562, you will proceed
Yes,
with
sir.
the defense
Yes, sir.
by priorly telling me about the time division.
Yes, sir. So speaker 1 will be taking 18 minutes and speaker 2 will be taking 12 minutes.
Team 562, speaker 1 starts at 9:55.
Yes, sir. So may I start? So may I start?
Yes, please start.
Yes. The council seeks permission to plead before this honorable court.
Yes, permitted.
May it please the court, the council would like to address the bench collectively as your lordship.
Yes.
Yes.
Your, your lordship, this is the counsel from the defense side in the instant case of state NIA versus Samir and others. Your lordship, if your lordship is well versed with the facts of the case, the council would like to proceed with the charges.
Proceed with the charges.
Uh, The Council 1 will be dealing with the charges under Section 120, 121, 123, 489B, and 489C of the Indian Penal Code, and my co counsel will be dealing with the charges under Section 201 of Indian Penal Code and Section 16, 17, 18, and 19 of the UAP Act. It is humbly submitted before this honorable court that the charges under section 121 are not maintainable as the basic necessary ingredients that were mentioned by the court in Rajiv Kumar versus State of UP in order to constitute a conspiracy are not fulfilled. Your lordship, the ingredients were agreement between one or more, two or more person for committing an illegal act or a legal act by illegal means, and the sine qua non of of all the ingredients was that there must be a meeting of mind of a person. Your lordship, not being a substantive offense, the criminal conspiracy consists in meeting minds of two or more person for agreeing to do or causing to do an illegal act or an act which is not illegal but done by illegal means. My client Sonu Samir were carrying bag that indeed was full of fake Indian currency, but they were not aware of it. The very fact the fake currencies were in secret cavity proves that they were just carrying it as per the instruction of Kalu Mama. Also, the CDR record shows the Monu and Samir were never in touch with Suhail. The only common thing that all of them share is the ideology toward the policies of the government. Thereby, humbly submit the charges are not maintainable as there is no meeting of minds of all the accused, and neither there is any circumstantial or direct evidence proving that they actually had any illegal objective. The police and other investigating agency wanted to make someone an accused in spite of case having no evidence using this old age formula of invocation of section 120B IPC and bringing all the name under these charges. Your lordship, there has been many cases like in Indira Gandhi murder case and Rajiv Gandhi assassination case where court has acquitted the accused of the charges because they were not very because the proof that were presented were not that much convincing. Your ladyship, considering the same perspective, we can say that the main accused Sohail and Kalu Mama were having knowledge of fake currency, but my client Monu and Samir were just used as a puppet to deliver the fake currency because they were from a very humble background and having a clean criminal record, they were having less chances of being caught. If your lordship is satisfied, the council would like to move further with the further charges.
Uh, can you please explain me what does meeting of mind means?
Your ladyship, when in any criminal conspiracy, if there is a commission of a crime on prima facie level, it may look that all the accused are working towards a similar objective. But in this case, they were not acting independently. They were They were not acting independently towards the same objective. They were not aware of this fact that there is going to be some sort of bomb blast, or there was going to be procurement of fake currency for the same. Your ladyship, a meeting of mind means when all of them were aware that they have to constitute a single aim.
Meeting of mind doesn't only mean that they have to constitute a single aid. They were in one way or other aiding into the commission of the act. They knew that they are carrying a counterfeit note that would in some way aid the main conspirators to proceed with their plan. They were aware of the plan. That means nobody can be that innocent that they were carrying FICNs in the cavity of a bag and they were not aware of it.
Agree.
Much obliged, ladyship. Your ladyship, indeed, they were carrying the fake currency, but they were not aware because it was in the secret cavity. They are in relation with Kalu Mama and Sohail and Peter for years. So, like they are working for the same organization. So, it's not like they were working together for the very first time. So, they didn't paid heed to what was having. Also, your ladyship, though we found the fake currency, but there is no evidence that there was going to be any bomb blast. There's no
What about
evidence. Yes, your ladyship.
you tell me that you said that they were going to deliver something, but they were not aware of the fact that they had FICNs in the cavity of the bag.
Yes, your ladyship.
Then what was the article that they were going to deliver? The bag full of clothes.
Your ladyship, they were not aware of this thing. They were just carrying it for the sake of carrying because they were in relation with their other mates like Kalu Mama and all. So they were just carrying it because they thought that they are carrying some material that is going to aid something for the
That
organization.
that this proves meeting of minds and this proves conspiracy. You may proceed now.
Much obliged, your ladyship. Your ladyship, the elements of section 121 are waging war, attempt to wage a war, or abet to wage a war against the government of India, or conspiring to do any of the thing. It is humbly submitted before this court that the charges under 121 and 123 are invoked merely on the basis of suspicion of conspiracy. My clients were taking back with them because they were having friend relation with Kalu Mama. Also, there is no circumstantial evidence available, your ladyship, which can actually prove that they were going to commit a bomb blast. Your ladyship, in Subramaniam Swamy versus A Raja case, it was held that suspicion cannot take the place of legal proof, and existence of meeting mind between the accused is not by itself sufficient to infer the existence of a criminal conspiracy. These sections are invoked just because police has this assumption and that they were going to have any bomb blast. Since they have not even used this fake currency, we cannot say that they are going to utilize it in the bomb blast. The statements that the police officer are claiming regarding the bomb blast is fictitious, and they have forced them to give such statements because my clients are under the custody for more than 3 months, and it is obvious that they are tortured and pressured. The very fact that my clients were against the policies of the government anyhow doesn't mean that they were going to wage or abet
And
wage
what you
against
will
the
say about your
government
CDR?
of India. Your lordship, all of them were friend of each other, so it's okay to be in
Don't
contact
you
with
don't you think they were conspiring the incident?
your lordship. The CDR anyhow doesn't prove that they were going to conspire any bomb blast because they were friends for many years. So we are in touch with our friends through phones. So it's okay to be having constant touch with your friends.
It is not okay when something has happened, which is completely illegal.
Your lordship, I indeed agree that some grave situation has occurred, but your lordship, these CDR records, but still these CDR records are not sufficient to prove that they are going to convoy any. They were going to conspire against the government of India and going to launch a bomb blast on the Indian Army convoy.
Was there any
Uh,
recovery of items that would lead to the assumption that there was a planning that was going on against the state?
No, Your Ladyship. There was only fake currency available in their bag. There's no other proof which can actually prove that they were going to constitute a conspiracy against the government of India. May I proceed, Your Ladyship?
Yes.
Your Ladyship, as per the section 26 of the Indian Evidence Act, no confession made to a police officer or by accused while in custody of police shall be proved as against a person. Or the only evidence that right now are available with the police are self-incriminatory. My clients were pressurized to make such fictitious statements. The CDRs are not suspicious at all because Monu, Samir, and Kalu Mama were friends for a long time. It is normal to be in contact with your friends. If your lordship is satisfied, the council would like to deal with further charges.
Yes, you may proceed.
Much obliged, your ladyship. Your lordship, the section 123 deals with the essentials of the section 123 are existence of a design to wage a war against the government of India, and the sine qua non is the design must be within the knowledge of the accused. As it has been proved earlier that my clients were not planning to wage or await war against the government of India, there is no point of invoking section 123 of IPC. This section has been invoked by police mainly because there were fake currencies. Considering fake currencies as a concealed design, this section has been invoked merely on the basis of a suspicion and assumption. Also, my clients were not having any knowledge of fake currency, which is the most important ingredient to invoke this section. The statements given during interrogation does not indeed come within the definition of evidence contained as per the section 26 of the Indian Evidence Act. It is not required to give an oath nor in the presence of the accused, and it cannot be tested by cross-examination. Therefore, it is humbly submitted before this court that section 121 and section 123 of IPC shall not be invoked only to add on charges to section 120B. If your lordship is satisfied, the council would like to deal with further charges.
Please carry on.
Much obliged, your lordship. Your lordship, coming to section 489B of IPC, which deals with the using of genuine, forged or counterfeit currency notes or bank notes, it is humbly submitted before this court that the accused Monu and Samir were not having any heat about the fake currencies. The essential of the section 489 are selling, buying or using them as a forged currency note. The sine qua non to invoke this section is the knowledge of fake currency. Also, your lordship, they have not yet used these fake currencies, so we cannot say that they were actually going to utilize it for the bomb blast. The point to be noted in the judgment of K. Hasim versus State of Tamil Nadu is that a person should be aware of that. And they have not even used the money, so there is no reasonable ground to believe that they were actually going to use them. Your lordship, coming to section 489C, that is regarding the possession of forged or counterfeit currency note and bank notes, it is humbly submitted before this court that in Muhammad Yusuf case, it was held the important ingredients were that one knew and had reason to believe that the note kept in his possession was forged and the intention was to use them genuine. The way notes were kept in the secret cavity shows that even my clients could not have access to it. There can be no other reason why a person would create a secret cavity. Since there is no proof that my clients were about to use them as genuine, their intention can't be questioned. If your lordship is satisfied, the council would like to call upon my co-counsel to deal with the further charges.
Carry on.
Much obliged, your lordship.
The council seeks permission to appear before this honorable court.
Carry on.
The council will deal section 201 of the Indian Penal Code, section 16, 17, 18 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Section 201 of the Indian Penal Code. It is humbly submitted before this honorable court that my clients Samir, Monu and Kalu Mama should not be prosecuted under the section 201 of the Indian Penal Code, as there is no concrete evidence that will imply that my clients has committed an offence under this section. As for the conviction under this section, it must be proved that an offence that the accused, my clients, has done had sufficient information or led him to believe that an offence has been committed by my client, but my client didn't even know, which does not make them an offender. Under this section, the intention of screening the offender is the primary and the sole object. But Here, my clients fully cooperated with the police during the investigation, during the police custody, judicial custody, tell all the information regarding how they traveling with it, who are they traveling with. And the important case is the case of Jamna Das in 1963. It was said the fact that the concealment was likely to have the effect is inadequate. And the only point the prosecution bring is that the fake Indian currency notes. The fake Indian currency notes were in the secret cavity of the bag. That means that even the Samir and Monu, accused one and accused two, doesn't know that they are carrying with the fake Indian currency notes. If they're carrying with the fake Indian currency note, they will tell the police as they are cooperated with all other things with the police. And the third thing, in the case of held in Jayendra Swamingal versus State of Tamil Nadu, that the necessary ingredients of an offence under section 201 of the Indian Penal Code is causing the evidence or commission of an offence to disappear or providing the false information. My client Samir and Monu has not destroyed a single evidence, as there is no independent witness on the part of the prosecution that proves that my clients are destroyed. As for the Kalu Mama, they are saying that he has destroyed the evidence in the house of Sohail, but there is no independent witness which tells us that this Kalu Mama has destroyed the evidence. And Samir and Manu are in judicial custody all along and the police custody all along from the arrest, which signifies that they have not provided any false information. If they have provided any false information, the case would have not been moved that much further. So, and the fake Indian currency notes are being kept, that has been recovered by the special cell, are in haphazard manner. If you look at the number in annexure G and annexure I, the number of the fake Indian currency notes are in a haphazard manner. That means the money that is collected is they don't know that they are the fake Indian currency notes. And on the part of Samir and Kalu, Samir and Monu, they didn't even know that they are carrying with the fake Indian currency notes. The council will like to move to section 16 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. It is humbly submitted before this honorable court that my client Samir, Monu, Kalu Mama should not be prosecuted under the section 16 of the UAPA Act, which is punishment for the terrorist act. Subsequently, looking upon the provisions of the very same act, whoever commits a terrorist act shall, if such act resulted in death or in any other case, will be punishable with punishment which is not less than 5 years or fine, or can be extended to imprisonment. First and foremost, we have to know what is a terrorist act for giving a punishment under the very same. It has been defined under section 15 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, which is to be read with section 2K of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, which states that whoever does any act with an intention to threaten or likely to threaten the unity, integrity, security, and sovereignty of India. Here, the security also means the economic security of the very same country. And for as the evidence that has been provided on the before us court is a CFSL report on the fake Indian currency note, which is also a secondary evidence, and the reliability of the fake CFSL report is secondary. There are no other proof that they're carrying the fake Indian currency notes other than they're saying that they are the fake Indian currency notes of high quality. And from the above stated provision, my client under section 16, as we can say, resulted in death or in any other case. Here, the provision that the prosecution trying to make a point in any other case, they're going to Pulwama. That were their intention. They are linking that the conspiracy of the total, but there is no chain. They're going to Pulwama. They have a general class ticket, and the general class ticket does not have any name on it. So, which signifies that they are going to Delhi, not to Pulwama. So, the linking the main conspiracy is the bomb blast that the prosecution is trying to point. But there is no bomb blast in Pulwama, as there is no conspiracy has been connected with here on, and it can be said under the confession which has been made under 164. There is no confession made under 164, but the statement is given to the police under section 161 of the CRPC, which is not admissible in the court of law. And all the case of the prosecution depend upon the witness, prosecution witness, and defense witness. And according to Article 20, subclause 3 of the Indian Constitution, no person shall be liable to be bound to be under the compensation compelled to be a witness against himself. Self-incrimination, which barred him. All the case of the prosecution is depend upon the witness, that they have been using my clients against himself, which has been barred in Article 20, subclause 3, and for the section 117 of the Unlawful Prevention Act, which talk about punishment for raising funds. It is humbly submitted before this honorable court that my clients Samir, Monu, and Kalu Mama should not be prosecuted under section 17 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Because for the purpose of section 17, it must be stated that the provision, the participation, organization, or directing in any of the acts stated therein shall constitute an offense. B is the subclause B of the very same act states raising funds shall include raising, collecting or providing funds through production or smuggling or circulation of high quality Indian currency note. As my clients have been working for the oppressed people of society, they are criticizing the policies of the government. Doesn't mean that they are a criminal. They are getting funds because they are working against the policies of the government and for the betterment of the people. They're just working for the betterment of the people. That's why they collected the money, and they're using the money for their own welfare. As we can look at the explanation B, which provision state that all were charged under the part the section talks about the raising fund. The definition of fund is not been defined anywhere. The fund definition, we can consider that if they're using the fund and they're using it for the criminal activity, for a terrorist act, that's why they have been prosecuted under the section of 17 of the UAPA Act, but the definition fund has not been mentioned anywhere, and they are not using it for any other terrorist or activity. They're not using for any terrorist act. The money that they're using is not working off any terrorist act. And it is also humbly submitted before this honorable court that they should not be prosecuted under section 17 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. And as for section 18 of the UAPA Act, which deals with punishment for conspiracy, as we can say, the terrorist conspiracy under this very section talks about conspiring against the state for a terrorist act. As we can see, whoever commits, conspire or attempts, advocates, advises knowingly or directly or incite, facilitates any act. Here, my client doesn't have any knowledge that they are carrying the fake currency notes, and the whole point of the prosecution is that they're going to Pulwama. There is no link that they're going to Pulwama, and there is no link that the conspirator Sohail is the main conspirator and Kalu Mama is giving directions to them. They're being touched with the call detail record, but the call detail record does not imply that they are conspiring. As in good faith, we all talk to our friends, and if we look our own call detail record, we will be in touch with all our family members and our friends. The same thing is happening here. They are being connected with the call detail record. It doesn't signify anything stated in the moot problem in 17.35, which is stated it does not provide any conclusive proof. The conclusive proof has been missing. As the court required the evidence, not the presumption. As the whole case of the prosecution is in presumption that they are going to Pulwama, that the court blast kodi dulan ko sajane ka waqt aa gaya hai, and they're using this type of thing. They are using presumption, but the court required the evidence. They don't provide any concrete evidence on any part. They don't provide any independent witness. The only thing they have is the fake hidden currency notes and the call detail record. And the call detail record does not imply anything, just being a mere contract with him. But when we talk about the fake Indian currency notes, they don't know it that they are carrying the fake Indian currency notes. It was in the secret cavity. As a normal person, if we go, we call the police that we are carrying this amount of money, so accompany us. Here, nothing the case is. That means that they don't know anything about the fake Indian currency notes. And if we talk about the statement that is given to the police, all of them agreed upon all the charges. It is a trial law to retracted confessional statement of a co-accused in the Kashmira Singmati state of Madhya Pradesh, very respective case, and nothing is statement has been given, no proof is been given. The only thing under DUPA has been there, section 18 punishment for conspiracy. There is no terrorist act over here, and that's why it is humbly submitted before this honorable court that my client should be acquitted of the charges of section 18 of the very same Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Section 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, as Section 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act defines punishment for being a member of a terrorist gang or organization. As the term terrorist gang or organization has not been defined anywhere, it can only be conferred on the circumstances or on the facts of the case. As we can see, for becoming a member of a terrorist gang or organization, there must be a meeting of minds, there must be intention or motive behind it. But for becoming an organization, there is nothing, as my clients are just merely working. They are assigned their respective task and they are completing it. They don't know how they're working. So becoming a member, there is a boss or must be a leader who communicates them that you do that work and you do that work, and that's how you're going to be named as a member of a terrorist organization. But here there is no case which tells us that there is a member. As for the Kalu Mama, who is working for the oppressed people of the society, for the upliftment of the oppressed people of the society in the West Bengal, making people aware that the government is doing injustice against you, you have to speak up your own way. It doesn't mean that he's been working. Yes, there is an FIR lodged against Kalu Mama. It is true that they are working for it. As we can see, even if the Mahatma Gandhi has worked against the British Raj, he's been arrested. The same thing is there. He's working for the oppressed people and the government didn't like it practice. That's why the government has been framing him under the UAPA charges, which can be conferred that there is no evidence that under section 20 which
Mr. Counsel, a while ago you made a statement, and again you're making a statement that it was used for welfare of people. The FICNs, the FCINs were used for welfare of people. How can you justify it?
Much obliged, your lordship. We can justify it by saying that they have a part of organization of a young youth organization which is working for. They are conducting seminars. They are going to the people and then working it, which has been set upon the very same problem that they are working for it. They are telling that this is the practices. They are a member of a youth organization there, and the Kalu Mama is also a part of his own factories union. So which implies that they are working it. That's why they are talking to people. That's why they are procuring the funds. It doesn't mean the funds are coming from Bangladesh and Pakistan. Doesn't imply that they are using for it.
But does that give them any right to use the counterfeited notes and to deliver it or to send it in hiding it under a bag?
Much obliged, lordship. The thing is, the Kalu Mama itself doesn't know that the money is the fake. They are collecting it, so they don't know that the currency is fake in a currency note. As the report of the CFL says, it's a high quality. So it is very impossible to determine by seeing the naked eye, by touching it, that this is a high fake currency note. That's why they are working for opposite people of society. That's why they given the task to deliver without telling them it is containing the
So
money.
you are telling me that it is a mere coincidence that Kalu Mama was somehow linked to Sohail, who is somehow linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, and then he was also trying to transport from one place to another a bag full of counterfeited notes. It is all just mere coincidence.
Much obliged, lordship. The council is trying to make a point that the Sohail connection of Sohail with Kalu Mama is different, and there is no record that it connects that Sohail has connection with Lashkar-e-Taiba senior people. As how can we determine it? 161 of the CRPC statement given by it, and the call detail record does not imply that he is connected with them. The only thing the call detail record implies that he is connected with Kalu Mama, Samir, and Munu. So it doesn't mean that he's been connected with the senior people of Lashkar-e-Taiba, which is being used by the government, used by the prosecution, so that they can invoke the charges in the section 18, UAPA charges 16, 17, and 18 and 20 of the UAPA charges. But the second point of your question is the fake Indian currency note. They don't know that they have the fake Indian currency note. They are working for the development. They are asking for the funds from the general public and the person. The fund they receive, if the funds they receive are in haphazard manner. If we look at the notes that has been Annexure H and Annexure I, it in haphazard manner. That means it has been collected by normal people. So it means that the fake Indian currency notes is already in circulation when the people made a donation. It doesn't mean that the Kalu Mama has done this very same on the very fact. The only thing the prosecution brings over here is a presumption, is assuming that he's been do that. But there is no concrete evidence which proves that yes, they procured the very same for the very same purpose and they're going to Pulwama for, because the main thing they're conspiring is they're going for the Pulwama. As there is no chain connecting that they're going to Pulwama, they have procured the money and their thing. The only thing that the prosecution brings is that they caught Samir and Monu with fake currency notes and making the connection here and there so that they can frame the charges against Kalu Mama. As we can see the third person, Peter, who's been dead. So no prosecution doesn't have any independent witness. No, the only thing they're using is circumstantial evidence, but they don't have any corroborative evidence, support or to the statement that they are working against the government, they are working for the bomb blast.
And death of Peter was due to unnatural circumstances. That is, he tried to commit suicide, or whether somebody tried to murder him by poisoning. So, don't you think this is all giving a presumption towards their guilt and not against them, that they are not guilty enough to be prosecuted?
Much obliged, Lordship. Peter died because of the poisoning in Rajasthan hospital, but it only reports say that it is suicide. But how can we say concretely that Peter has taken it by himself, by other person? Maybe Peter was depressed for some other thing. Because working for against the government, you're talking with different people, and sometimes when people you are going to influence some people, sometimes the people have influence over you. So maybe the case here, the same presumption is the defense is making, just like the presumption making by the prosecution that he did it. We are making the same prosecution that he did because he was depressed or any other part of the point. That's why he taken the poison and suicided. It doesn't mean that the Peter is doing something.
So you are saying this is another part of coincidence that has happened on your relating to your clients.
Much obliged, Lordship. It is not a coincidence. It is a fact that It may be, it is a presumption, not we're not saying that it can be, but it is the situation, because there is no evidence that supports my client. And if we do that, we put innocent behind the bars. So we have to consider that it is innocent until proven guilty. So there is no evidence, there is no corroborative evidence that proves that my client has did it, that they are carrying the fake identity. They are working for the upliftment of the society. They're working for the mere upliftment of society. And Samir and Monu has been caught with the fake currency notes in Delhi, which has been given by a secret information of a Guddu Singh. And the reliability of Guddu Singh is that much that he knows that they are carrying with them that amount of money. And how can if he knows that the person is carrying, why didn't he caught them beforehand? That's the point that the defense counsel is likely to make, pointing to make. The counsel like to move to the prayer. Whoever in the light, wherefore in the light of issues raised, arguments advanced, and authority cited, may it please the court to declare, hold or adjudge, acquit Samir Monu Kalumama under the section of IPC and the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, or pass any order it may deem fit in the interest of equity, justice, and good conscience. Thank you.
Your Honor, we may proceed with any question and answers if you want. I think you are mute.
I've cleared all my doubts. I think if Mr. Tiwari wants to ask questions, he can ask. Is Mr. Tiwari there?
Yes. Actually, there's a network issue from my side.
If you want to ask any questions, you can
No
proceed.
problem, sir. Sir, if you want to ask any.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
What happened with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are audible.
As of now, no questions. We will mark. We'll give them marks.
All right. Your Honor, we may conclude with the proceedings.
Please
Yes.
conclude.
We should conclude now. I would just like to say one thing, that it was a nice job by all the participants, and I could see the efforts that they put in drafting their memorials and preparing their pleadings. And I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors, and good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, honorable judges. We may end the proceedings.
Yes.
You did nice, guys, for the prosecution.
Thank you. The defense was really nice.
Thank you.
Defense was really nice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.